Hey, can you like, share, subscribe, please? I want to get to 1,000 subscribers. Can you help me with that? Thanks in advance. Hiya! This time, for sure, it's Dionne. She's arrived. Let's open it up. We're going to talk about whether her clothes are the crappy, disappointing material that we didn't want, the accessories, who looks more like Stacey Dash, me or her, and how close she looks to the other Brooklyns. Is she a keeper? Plus more.
Okay, well, look at that. She's here in her sort of boring packaging, but it's okay. I don't keep dolls in their box anyway. You can see her hat's over to the right. And I will take her out shortly. Let's check out the back of the box. It says Barbie celebrates the 30th anniversary of Clueless, the iconic 90s coming of age film that's totally a timeless cultural touchstone. Dionne gets major snaps for her chic matching black and white plaid miniskirt ensemble, donning her fabulous top hat that decked with ribbon and rose. This fearless fashionista takes her outfit to new heights. Edgy, chic, and confident, Dee is witty and cheeky, but also has an affectionate side that's fiercely loyal to her friends. With her bestie, Cher, on her cell phone speed dial, Dionne is outy and ready to make some buzz in Beverly Hills. Okay, it's time to open her up. So maybe this time Barbie actually heard our complaints, because this time it is this stand, the one that goes, between the crotch and they sit on it. So maybe they are kind of hearing our complaints about the stand, since they decided to go with this style of doll stand. That'll be great, because I don't mind this one. The only other thing that I don't like, if they're actually listening, is if this piece could be flatter, I'd appreciate that. A little weightier but flatter. And the reason is if you've ever tried to buy shelves and stuff, this adds to the height of your dolls. I am actually appreciative of this type of stand. This might actually be them like listening for once. And since we're talking about things you might be listening to, can you stop doing this? Can you respect your dolls a little bit and not put these tags through their head? I'd appreciate that. I mean, they're already bound with their hair and these other plastic ties anyway. I'm pretty sure people will get caught at this point, without the tags in the head. So if you can stop doing that, if you're listening, appreciate it. Okay, well, let's get the first question out of the way. Is the fabric, that cheap printing fabric that they've been using lately, that in everybody's eyes except apparently theirs, reduces the quality of the doll? The answer is yes. Okay, it is that sort of, I don't know. It's like a printing fabric. It's not quite satin, like, which I could say that technically even the old Dionne is wearing a satin instead of a cotton material. So maybe they figured they would just go ahead and press forward and try and get away with that same thing again. But her socks are a knit fabric, like real socks. And her shoes are a black version of, let's see, if you've ever gotten any of those Playline dolls, color reveal dolls, it's basically that heeled shoe, but it's in black. So that's not horrible. I don't mind those shoes. Her hat is plastic, I believe, but I will have to take it out, so give me a second. Okay, so we were talking about the hat. The hat is kind of rubbery material like the doll shoes. And I was going to mention how it just floats on her head and doesn't really like like get pushed. It's not able to be pushed down. As you saw, it just went flying off. So try to retrieve it for its close up. I think that the rose mold is okay. But I really wish like I could just squeeze it on her head and it would stay. But it's not. As long as she's on her stand, it will stay. The other thing is her phone. I have noticed that I don't see like a handle. Gonna take a little bit closer look and take it out of its packaging. Okay, so there's the phone, and as you can see, okay, there's the phone, and as you can see, there's nothing. There's no way for her to hold on to this phone. Absolutely no way for her to hold on to this phone. You will either have to do the usual clear rubber band trick, or you can use the little casing that it came with. Let me double check that works. So this is one of the methods that you can use to keep the phone attached to her. You can see how lovely that looks. Yeah. The rubber band method is, of course, number 2. So it's a little disappointing that there's no handle back there. It's like Barbie has forgotten to make sure that people can actually play with their dolls. Because ultimately, I don't know if I would consider these collector dolls. I mean, they were close to a collector price, but the fabric, as mentioned, is that low quality, like printing fabric. Um, let's see about these shirts. It looks like it is 3 shirts, which, I'm all for having multiple pieces, so that might be a benefit because that might be an actual plus on this doll. Yep, on this particular doll, it is 2 different tops and a skirt, and it's not just a skirt, it's like not a onesie, what do they call those? A bodysuit. So that's pretty good. It's like 4 different pieces, 4 different articles of clothes. So that's impressive. Plus the socks, plus the shoes. So I'm gonna give Barbie like points on that. I'm actually impressed that it actually is so many separate pieces on this doll. It was actually one of the things I was talking about with the Venus doll. Is she could have easily been 3 different pieces of clothing, but she ended up just being 2 plain white pieces of clothing, which I found to be kind of sad. Yeah. So I want to basically, the next things I want to do is I want to compare these 2 molds, even though this is basically Brooklyn, to the original actress, and see which one actually I feel is closer. Voting on which doll is a better face mold is actually tougher than I thought. I blame Stacey Dash for looking like a doll in the first place. Some people are just living dolls. So Brooklyn is actually a really good choice match for Stacey's face. The only thing is that Stacey does not have as flat of a nose bridge as Brooklyn. But the smile and lip coloring on Brooklyn is more closer to Stacey Dash than the original Stacey doll. And let's go ahead and state the obvious. This Brooklyn is a closer skin tone to Stacey Dash than the OG Stacey doll. They both have light brown eyes, and Brooklyn's is more of a hazel, which is also a match to Stacey Dash. Also, they gave Brooklyn a nose ring, which I don't know what to think about it because the nose ring appears in some shots, but not all. I guess my thought is it's cool they put it on the character because that's not a typical Barbie thing to give a doll. However, I wish they stuck with the same color for the earrings as well as the nose ring. Both either goldish or both grayish. It's crazy. To me, the nose shape is everything. And the only reason why I feel the OG Stacey still looks more like Stacey Dash. But otherwise, I think they did a great job with the face mold. So, what's ultimately going to decide things in my doll world is a battle of the Brooklyns. If she looks too much like my other Playline Brooklyn dolls, I might get rid of a Playline Brooklyn. Overall, do I think Dionne's worth $60? I don't know, with inflation maybe. I paid $60 for the 5-point articulated 65th anniversary Barbie, and Dionne's at least articulated. They had to pay the Clueless IP again and possibly pay to use the designer's aesthetic, but the fabric quality is meh. Dionne's hair doesn't have as much braids as the OG Stacey, possibly so that the hat can easily sit on top, even if it doesn't stay. The phone doesn't have a handle. We did get a better stand. And the doll does kind of look like Stacey Dash. Of course, I would love to have paid $35 to $40. Unfortunately, it's not really realistic right now. Even the knockoff dolls are in the $30 range, so yeah, I guess so. I paid for her. What's my other option? Brats? I don't collect brats. My reason is not like other people's reasons, though. Maybe one day I'll share that, but it's a story that doesn't dredge up good memories. Anyway, on to the Brooklyn Battle Royale. Okay, so before we get to the Battle of the Brooklyns, let's talk about her articulation, which I forgot to talk about. She has standard Barbie extra articulation, but with the heeled foot, which I prefer when I do have a Barbie extra doll. This means she has no articulation at the foot. Um, Basically the same as the Lucy doll. She's articulated at the knee, and this is as much as her side splits that she can do. Is that she is articulated at the wrist and at the elbow and at the shoulder. And obviously her head goes up and down and side to side. Here's another close up of her face. So I was thinking, okay, in general, unless there's a lot of differences, I don't like to have too many of the same dolls. And at this point, I have 4 Brooklyn dolls. So let's see if I'm going to get rid of any of my Brooklyn dolls. 60th anniversary or Brooklyn clearly does not look like the Stacey Brooklyn at all. She's got freckles, her eyes are completely different and a different color. Her mouth is different. She just looks completely different, and she's unique unto herself. She is sitting on a made to move body, so she's completely fully articulated, and she will obviously stay. She is pretty much the Brooklyn that they all have to compete against, and once again is the winner. All right. Next up, we have the Playline level. We have this Brooklyn here, who is my very first Brooklyn that I bought on accident, kind of on purpose, but it was an accident. I was looking for one with a heeled foot and hopefully at least Barbie extra articulation, but she only actually has 5 points of articulation. I also have this one. She has a flat foot, but she has Barbie extra articulation. So technically, these two are the ones that look the most alike. but this one has better articulation. So you would say, oh, well, then how come you still got rid of this one? Well, this, as I've mentioned before, but this time she's actually working. Tell us why we're not getting rid of you. So as you can see, she sings pretty much most of the song from the movie, which is why I got into Brooklyn in the first place. So it was an added surprise, and I actually do like that about this doll. So at this point, it looks like I am still going to continue to keep all four of my Brooklyns, because this these three do not look anything alike. This is the one that I can actually pose, and this is the one that clearly sings. All right, sing us out.